So I'm doing a little talk here. This is based on something that happened about a month ago. I was in the operating room, and unfortunately, I know this happens a lot, probably more than it should. Certain people in the operating room started talking about the patient while they were asleep, okay? And I was like, man, we're too professional for this here. So I was like, I just want to make everybody aware of like some of the consequences of it, and that maybe we all need to like police ourselves to make sure, you know, we're all doing the right thing back there. And so awareness in the operating room, be professional or it may cost you. And I'll show you a little bit of why this might happen. But we just need, let's see if I can click to the next guy here. All right, so awareness happens almost like 1 in every 500 cases. We do a lot of cases here. So every time you think that patient's asleep, it's like 1 in 500. They probably still can hear you, okay? It's whether it's general or sedation. And that's why whenever I talk to patients beforehand, I never ever guarantee that they're not going to remember anything. If you're there for an interview with a patient, you hear me, I hear a lot of OR nurses come up and say, oh, you'll never remember anything. Never ever say that to a patient, one, okay? Because it's 1 in 500. That's pretty common, okay? Most of them are women, ASA class 1 and 2, and elective surgery. So that's pretty much what we got here, you know, pretty high percentage. And there's 23,000 to 40,000 new cases of awareness in anesthesia each year in the United States. So it's happening out there. And it's really tough to prevent it. So really watch what you're saying and how professional you are in the operating room. Here's a example of one of the patient may be recording you also. This is happening out there, okay? We had a lady that, I believe that she was in Texas. She went to meet with her surgeon, and she was supposedly terminal. I'm not sure exactly on the details on it. Surgeon says, I can't get you on for 2 weeks, and she goes, you got to be kidding me. And then the surgeon's like, who do you think you are? You know, and, and she goes, well, I think I'm going to get a lawyer. And he goes, that's fine, but you know, we still got to do your surgery. So they did the surgery. And what she did was actually took a recorder and put it in her hair braids and recorded the whole surgery. Okay, and here's a little snippet.
Ethelista says she broke down and cried when the doctor told her she would have to wait 2 months before her hernia surgery could be scheduled at a county-operated hospital.
I was like, 2 months? I can't last for 2 months. I can't do this for 2 months. I'm terminally ill right now. I'm very, and he said, listen, and he got very abrupt. He said, well, who do you think you are? You're going to have to wait, just like everybody else.
The doctor's tone, Easter says, made her decide to tape record her surgery.
This is my natural hair. I had a weave at the time, which is braids extension. And when I put my hair up, I put the recorder right in my hair.
Soon after you hear Easter start to snore, Easter says the surgeon tells others in the OR what he thinks of her. Easter says some of the OR staff made disparaging remarks about her body. She says she's very self-conscious about her belly button. You can hear a nurse in the OR laughing about it.
All right, so you guys get the gist. Basically, there's been a few of these recently. There was another one where an anesthesiologist went out and interviewed a patient. Didn't have the best interview with the patient, which we've all probably had that, where we have a tough patient out in pre-op. Those are the ones that are probably going to be the highest risk for us to try to keep what we have inside when we go in the OR. Because we think we put them asleep, we can say anything, right? You can't. This anesthesiologist, that patient decided to record the whole thing because he didn't want to miss what supposedly the orders were afterwards by the surgeon on what to do. Had the phone in his pocket and the clothes were underneath the table. This anesthesiologist got sued $500,000 and lost. And basically the jury just didn't like the anesthesiologist by what she was saying in there. So this can happen to people in the room. the biggest thing that I've seen when I'm in the ORs in the 17 years I've been doing this is it's usually one of the docs in the room that starts the charge on this, and everybody just kind of follows their lead. So, but I'm asking all you guys just to try to be aware of that and say, hey, we can be better than this, you know? Because sometimes you come in there with emotions, and we do it as like a defense mechanism because we got tough jobs, and we think, oh, you know, we're just going to make fun of the situation or make fun of the patient a little bit here because we had a tough time before we got in here. We're kind of hardened as we do medicine, and you're more likely to do something like that. But just really, really work inside to like catch yourself before you do it. Or if you see somebody else doing it, the easy thing to do is just to play along and keep quiet. But maybe it's good to alert them, you know. And that's going to be tough. But I'm asking all you guys to do that. Because if you can, it's got to start with one person. But this stuff is really happening. Like I said, 1 in 500 is pretty common. So just really, really try to police ourselves. And it's tough telling a surgeon or an anesthesiologist or a CRNA, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. But maybe that's all it's going to take just to make them aware. And maybe hopefully it'll stop. So.
I've got a question.
Sure.
Can we ask them if they have a recording device? I mean, what if they deny it and then it comes back?
That's the easy thing to do, is to like look and say, these people shouldn't be recording, you know.
Right.
That's my first thing when I saw this.
You know, put it in
but
your little...
honestly, let's just pretend everybody's got one, you know. They're actually starting to record and do audio and video in a lot of the ORs as a way for hospitals to help with legal later. And so that might be coming down the road. They're implementing it at a few hospitals, and they're looking at bringing that possibly even nationwide down the road. So what I would say is just pretend like everybody's recording everything. How would you act, you know? And that's the way you should be acting in there, and what you should be saying and doing. So there was that case, and then this one here, the hospital didn't see any wrongdoing in what the surgeon and the operating staff did. I don't know where it's going to end up, but there was no lawsuit as of right now on that one. And what I'd say is be the change you wish to see. Each one of you guys just try to police each other. And I know it's tough. It really is, especially when you got somebody that you look up to in there and they're doing it. And you know, in this case, the patient that I saw like a month ago, they were non-compliant. They did something. It caused their previous surgery to go bad. They came in the OR, which that's tough, you know. When patients are non-compliant, that was usually the biggest trigger for me to be upset with a patient, you know. And but it still doesn't give you the right to, like, once they're asleep, to say anything about them or disparage them. This is a tough. If you've ever been a patient, man, it's a very vulnerable situation, and so we got to be respectful and be protective of them. So that's all. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.